Kelly, since you've done it for yourself, you use LinkedIn so effectively for yourself. Could you share a little bit for our entrepreneurs out there as to how you can use LinkedIn effectively to bring in your client audience? And I'm asking also from a point of view that there is a belief that LinkedIn works for B2B, and you've
Mm.
kind of made it work for B2C for yourself. So how can you bring in your clients by using LinkedIn effectively?
Yeah, so I mean, I have what I call my LinkedIn Quality Leads formula, and it's a 7-step process. It's pretty straightforward. There are a clear set of steps, and when you implement these steps, you get a consistent flow of your ideal clients coming to you through LinkedIn. So, your first step is to nail your niche. Know exactly what it is that you are the expert in. You are the go-to expert, and what makes you different from your competitors. So that's your first step. The second step is to know who your audience is, know who you're here to help, who you're here to serve, and again, what their problems are, what their biggest challenges are, what they most want. Really nail that so you have that clear. And when you're clear on that, you're ready to move on to the third step, and that is to create an offer that is irresistible. So that offer needs to connect with the ideal clients. It needs to help them solve their biggest problem in the shortest time possible. That's always what you want to do. That's what's going to make it sell. That's what's going to make it irresistible. And then from there, you go into the fourth step, which is actually getting onto LinkedIn. It's optimizing your LinkedIn profile so that instead of it being a resume, it actually is a lead generating tool, because your resume becomes attention grabbing to your ideal clients. It talks to them about what they're struggling with and how you can help them. And then you give them reassurance with your recommendations that you are who you say you are, and you have great recommendations that show that you can deliver on what you promise. From optimizing your LinkedIn profile, you're ready to actually start reaching out to your ideal clients on LinkedIn to start to generate appointments on demand. So this is a really important fifth step. And in that process, I do encourage that people message their LinkedIn connections. So this is about reaching out to your ideal clients, building your connections with your ideal clients on LinkedIn, and using a sequence of messages that allows you to get appointments booked in with them. And then the sixth step is to simply get on those calls, get on the appointments, and sell your offer. But you do that obviously from a place of giving a lot of value. So the call is always about helping the person to really gain clarity on what they're struggling with and what they most want, and then how they can get to where they want to be. And that, of course, is your offer. So it's natural to sell the offer. And then the final step is about sharing content that converts. So in this step, we're building your awareness, your brand awareness on LinkedIn. We're getting people who have become your LinkedIn connections, we're getting them warmed up so that they know more about how you work, how you can help them solve their problems. And that's going to lead them to make inquiries through LinkedIn to say, hey, can you help me? I've been struggling with exactly what you're talking about. I'd like to work with you. And so when you get those 7 steps in place, that gives you that consistent flow of your ideal clients coming to you through LinkedIn. And that's my LinkedIn Quality Leads formula. So that's what you need to do to generate appointments on demand, and have LinkedIn working for you. I would also say about the B2B side is a lot of people have maybe not been on LinkedIn for a while. They maybe set their profile up a few years ago and then left it. And in the last few years, LinkedIn has changed a lot. Microsoft took them over. They've been updating the functionality. It really isn't the sort of stuffy platform that it was at one point. And it is much better now to use it for lead generation than it was maybe 5 years ago. I mean, I started using LinkedIn actively for lead generation on a consistent basis 3 years ago, and it has been incredible even since that point. Obviously, now more people know how good it is, but it is still very underused by users as a tool to actually generate appointments and clients. There is a lot more scope for that. When we think of it comparatively to Facebook and how competitive Facebook ads are, there's so much more scope on LinkedIn. Most users don't know how to use LinkedIn in order to generate business. So there's a lot of opportunity, and it's definitely for all different business types, whether you are a coach or a consultant, a service provider, even MLM. It's for all different types of business owners. And whether your audience are small business owners, mid-sized SMEs, corporate decision makers, or whether they are individual professionals, again, it's perfect for you. It works really well on the B2C side. And in fact, I would say it's even faster to pick up clients on the B2C side than using it for B2B.
Oh, is that so? That's a new thing that I've heard. Thank you for sharing that. So, Shelley, what I gathered from what you said in your 7-step formula, there are 3 aspects which are key. One is, other than, of course, knowing who your target audience is and creating your message, one is creating the right profile. Secondly, it's to get on that one-on-one connection through the connections that you are sending out and communicating one-on-one individually. And the third is to put up communication in terms of content, where you are putting up posts which showcase your expertise and the area in which you want to offer your services in. So these are the 3 aspects. So I would like to pick on each one of them one at a time. And let me start from what is the easiest, and that is the kind of communication that you put out as posts. Now, as an entrepreneur coach, and I'm speaking for myself, and I see a lot of communications being put out by business owners on LinkedIn, there are some posts which get a lot of engagements, and they may or may not be related to the number of followers that you have. And there are some posts which hardly get any engagements, but personally, I find them to be quite informative. So what is that hook that gets people to engage? Because at the end of the day, it's only if people engage in your posts, that it is hitting the client, the target audience that you would want to kind of communicate to.